Here are U.S. troops resting on the island of Guadalcanal in the Pacific Ocean. The U.S. were now beginning their major attack along the entire Pacific front, island hopping as they called it, toward their eventual destination, Japan. They not only took Guadalcanal, they also continued their island hopping into the Solomon. They moved through with attacks, eventually taking over the Solomons. They continued on, however, to the Gilbert and Marshall Islands, capturing Tarawa, as seen here, and Tinian and Saipan and other islands, as seen here. They recaptured Guam and continued on. Soon they were within distance of attacking the Philippines by the end of 1944. They had started out with a front line that looked something like this, and had finally, by the end of a few years, had switched the front line to something that looked something like this, or thereabouts. They captured all this territory in here, and they would go on to move into the Philippines and down into the East Indies. Already British forces from India were invading Southeast Asia, and the Chinese were fighting back against the Japanese, slowly pushing them to the coast. So Japan, by the end of 1944, was seriously on their way toward defeat. However, they had great hideouts and fortifications on many of their islands. Island hopping became harder and harder because the Japanese believed in a code of chivalry that included suicide, and many Japanese would rather fight to the death than surrender. Therefore, it became much more harder to capture islands because all the soldiers on the island would fight to the very end. And many times this proved costly, but the U.S. continued on, and as did other allied nations such as Australia, New Zealand, and Great Britain.